This ain't too much for you. I'm going somewhere with this. The devil knows that men are visionaries. He knows that you're a visionary. You're supposed to see something a certain way so you can carry it out. So what he wants to do is he wants to present it to you in a false way. So that instead of you pursuing while you're here in the earth, you will spend the rest of your life trying to clear up your imagination. What are those three drives? Eating, drinking, sex. Now, every man in here, the enemy hopes to get you out of balance in one of the three. Let's just talk about drinking a second. I've heard most men, and I've talked to hundreds, tell me something like, man, the first time I drank beer, it was nasty. Any of y'all ever said that? It was nasty. It didn't taste good. But how many of you know, since you don't know how you built, you kept on drinking. You kept on going, hanging out, drinking, until eventually you acquired a taste for what you once called nasty. But the devil knows us better than we know us. He knows that you're not going to stay with a beer. He's going to elevate you beyond the beer. And if he's been watching your generations and sees alcoholism in the family, he will elevate you to so many drinks that now he don't have to worry about your vision being effective because you're not sober enough to do anything. Start drawing a picture. Artistic, probably some artistic men in this building. Start drawing a drawing. If you had just stayed with the potential of God in you, could be one of the best artists in the world, but while drawing, little girl texts you and you stop seeing what you're drawing and you start seeing what you could be doing. And so eventually I put down the canvas and the utensils, and I start responding back to the distraction of my vision. See, men matter so much that the enemy is strategizing to keep us stuck. He's strategizing to keep us mad and angry and frustrated and broke because he's afraid that if you ever get it together, he knows that it ain't just you. He knows Miss Noah gonna benefit. He knows your children gonna benefit. He knows their wives are gonna benefit. And he knows your children's children gonna benefit just by getting one man. Just let dad be standing in the service with his hands lifted in the air giving God praise. Just let it be seen. Let the children see dad with some tears coming down his face because he's honoring his covering. Just let children see it. But many of us in this room, you have a challenge on your life right now because you would be the first in your generations to serve God. Your father ain't serving Jesus. You're a man and your father is not saved. Your father didn't serve God. He didn't live his life out for God, but God is calling you. And it's very, very difficult because you become what you behold. And not just the eye, but what the inner, the intellect. I imagine, I got my daddy's DNA in me, and he don't have to sit down and tell me everything he is, good and bad. It's in me. I got his DNA. There was a time when they said, is she your girlfriend? Ew, girls are yucky. Remember that, guys? That thing changed quick, didn't it? They stopped being yucky almost overnight. Then you start having them little crazy dreams. Hello? I said, then you start having them dreams. And then you start taking numbers. Huh? Then you start getting notches on your belt. And God built you to be intimate. But when you've been with 5 women, intimacy is leaving. Because you're never with a person, you're with a spirit. And see, every time you're with a person, you're with every spirit they've been with. So you think you've only been with 2 people, but you was with this girl, and she already was with 5. And the 5 she was with 10. And the 10 they was with 50. And the 50 they was with, and so you got all them spirits. See, some of y'all don't realize what that looks like, but I'm going to describe to you what it looks like. It looks like me taking a Coke or a Sprite and passing it around this room, letting everybody drink from it and telling all of them to put your backwash in it. And then I bring the cup to you and say, now it's your turn. You think because you only got it from him that you only dealing with the backwash in him. But he done been with her, and then he done been with her, and then when you start adding all the backwash together, you wonder why you wake up one morning with all this confusion in your head. Because you're not only dealing with the one person you're dealing with, he's not a person, he's a spirit. And you're dealing with all the spirits attached to this spirit. Now all of a sudden you ain't never been depressed. Now you wake up talking about feeling depressed. And you ain't never thought about suicide. I don't know what. I felt like just killing myself. You ain't never thought like that until you hooked up with him. Because he's not a person, he's a spirit. She's not a person, brother. She's a spirit. And she might be shaking it, knocking it from side to side, walking down the aisle. And let me tell you something, brothers, and here's the deal. She gonna look way better to you when you trying to do God. I was reading some statistics recently that among girls ages 18 to 23, the greatest STD is gonorrhea of the throat. Why do you think? It ain't because of the Sunday school class. It's because of the song. Lollipop. Y'all know what I'm talking about? The back seat. And so the daughters are coming home and they're not even getting treated because they don't even know they have it. And the boy is losing his ability to love because he's just celebrating the fact that he's a lollipop. Man, this girl right here did, and that girl right there, she did, and I had that girl right there, and I had that girl. And so when God tries to send you the one who's supposed to carry seed for the expansion of a kingdom agenda, you can't even feel her because you all over the board. I'm talking good. Men matter. The way God's going to change the culture is he's going to change the heart of men. We're going to stop thinking that we're insignificant and unimportant. We're going to believe we matter. We're going to believe that God has a purpose for our lives. You watch these boys. Listen, I can't even drive down this street in my truck and they don't all stop to see who it is. That isn't peace. You can't even have a car go by. I don't do that when people drive past my house. Wondering if it's somebody coming by to shoot you, kill you. When you're always in fear of death, you can't live. These boys that are fighting out in McKeesport right now, they can't just stand outside on the corner. We was out in the wide open yesterday up here in Crawford. The same places that they're getting killed, we standing up there singing and passing out huggies. Ain't none of us up there worried about who was coming. We don't know enough to be worried about who's coming. We too busy celebrating who's here. There's a young man sitting right there, Bobby Jackson Jr. I claim him. I claim as much as I can claim him. I tweet him. I follow him. When I see him and Dennis on there talking crazy, I say something to him. You know why? Just to interrupt. See, because you're going somewhere. You're going somewhere. He's in college. I'm proud to see him staying in school. He fought. He'd been through 2 and 3 different schools and it didn't work out. But he fought to stay and got himself back in. I'm proud of it. Trying to go after something. Why? Because he's not getting a phone call every day from his dad saying you can do this or you can do that or this is who you are. You don't know what some of these young boys are up against just trying to be successful. Just trying to make it, when the inner cry is toward foolishness, because that's the DNA inside you. And if there ain't never somebody in your ear talking about you are more than a chump, you are a champ, you will never pursue the greatness of God that is inside you. But I'm here to announce to every man in this building, the King wants to use your life. I said he wants to use you. He wants to use you.